What if Master of the Universe wasn't just a cool idea, but a full D&D one-shot your table could play tonight? Today, we're brewing He-Man into a complete one-shot, breaking down the design, the drama, and the decisions that make it work at the table. Ever wonder how to turn Masters of the Universe into your D&D campaign? We'll show you how to do it. After all, this is how we brew it. Homebrew is where the heart is. It's where Dungeon Masters, Murder Hobos, Dice Goblins, and Chaos Gremlins come together to turn big ideas into unforgettable adventures. So how do you take that spark, a setting, a villain, a mechanic, and turn it into something that actually works at the table? It's simple. We brew it. We've got 6 flavorful categories to walk through designed to help you build campaigns that capture the feel of your favorite worlds and IPs. And today we're going to talk about Masters of the Universe / He-Man. But first today, Taylor, our sponsor is D&T. So Taylor, I'm going to challenge you to do this ad read for D&T as if you were a character in the Masters of the Universe universe.
Here's the thing. I don't know a lot about Masters of the Universe, but I know one thing. And it's this character in which you will understand who I'm doing when I do this voice.
All right, real talk for a second. If you ever hit that mid-session slump where your brain just logs out after a quick fight, same. That's why I've been drinking D&D. This isn't just tea, it's a long rest in a cup, whether you're channeling arcane focus or trying to destroy He-Man. D&T blends are crafted to keep your mind sharp and your roleplay sharper. Smooth, flavorful, and dangerously easy to drink mid-monologue. Like this monologue right now. If you want to try it, you can use code TSP for 15% off. Not only are you upgrading your table experience, you're directly supporting the show! So yeah, grab some D&T, keep your brain online and your sword sharp, and just maybe you won't forget how to destroy the greatest hero of all!
That voice is iconic. And I don't even know
It's an iconic
super
voice.
accurately, but I did it close enough.
I knew exactly what you were doing, though. Thanks, D&T, for sponsoring our show. Let's get into the categories of base build. What are the core components? R, resonance, and vibe. This is where we make our opponent card sing. E, extra prop. X is wildly fun. W, weird for us. That was definitely the weird for us moment right there.
Yeah.
I, inciting quest. Having good campaign needs a reason to leave home and conquer Castle Grayskull. And T, threat level. Let's talk danger. Who or what is the big bad and why is it Skeletor? Over and over and over. All right, Taylor, let's kick it off with our category of base build. What are the essential components and must-haves for doing Master of the Universe / He-Man?
Barbarian! Well, I don't know. I say barbarian because of the way he dresses. But yeah, I guess I would say, again, my experience with He-Man is 2 episodes of the cartoon when I was a child. So
Okay.
I have such a limited experience. But I think the thing that I always thought was beautiful was how eclectic the different heroes were in the party.
Yes.
And so in my mind, it really has to be that. It has to be the most eclectic group of heroes ever,
Yeah.
And there has to be, and this is base build, this is essential, there has to be a tiger that is a steed and is a saber-tooth, and it has to have a stat block. And does that make He-Man a druid? I don't know.
I would say, He-Man is a hybrid barbarian / Drake Warden Ranger.
Right. Oh, there you go. Ranger.
Where the Drake
Yeah,
Warden
yeah.
is instead a saber-tooth tiger, because you
Yeah.
can do what you need to do.
I also I feel like you could do a lot more with animal companions in 2024 than you can in 2014.
That's fair.
So I wonder if it really is that. If it's exactly what you said, not even a flavor. If it's you are multi-classing, that is what you were doing, but it's 2024 version and your animal companion is there. It's
Right.
all of that,
Yeah. So, okay. So for me, totally agree. Because if you're not aware, Masters of the Universe was a toy line created by Mattel and they had a show associated with cartoons so that they could sell toys. Right?
Marketing.
And this is the same logic for Transformers. It was the same logic for Pokemon eventually. It's the same logic as lots of different toy lines. Oh, it's the same logic if we're eventually going to get Marvel Secret Wars. Why did they create Secret Wars? Because they did a study and the 2 most famous and popular words with the survey of kids was the word secret and the word war. And so they put it together. And they created a whole storyline and brand new costumes because the kids like the word Secret Wars. And if they put the word Secret Wars together and they made a bunch of products, they figured the kids would buy it. And they were right.
That's actually wild. I didn't know that.
Yes. So this is literally capitalism. Why does Masters of the Universe exist? Capitalism. Capitalism.
Welcome to Bruin.
Now, yes. Now, to be fair, I really like... I think Skeletor is amazing. I love him. We're going to have a video. Our next video is going to be about him, talking about how do we build Skeletor, because I love Skeletor.
Yeah.
And I love all of the tropes of like villains and heroes and like stuff that goes in. Stuff like He-Man is like built for that. Like, and I've watched so many episodes of this. I don't remember like any of them because like the plot's not that important. It's just like, because it's so good versus evil. Like He-Man is so good and he will never do anything wrong. Skeletor is pure evil and he's also dumb. Like even though he's a genius, he's dumb.
He's so dumb.
He's so dumb and petty and stupid. And it's great. Like, and they go against each other. And then like all of the party members for He-Man are like very distinct. Why? Because they're trying to sell toys.
Yeah.
What are the core components? Like to me, is good versus evil. There's no moral gray here, right? Like the plot has to be good versus evil. We need very distinct characters, and you need Skeletor, but like the most dumb villain possible. And we're going to avoid talking about Skeletor too much because you can just wait for a week from now when we release the Skeletor video. But all I got to say is we need him. And he's our threat level, so we're going to talk about him eventually, but you need him. Like, just from the voice alone, you need him.
You need him.
It's favorite. One of the best supervillains of all time.
I think I hurt my voice doing that ad read.
Yeah, probably. It's a tough voice to do.
It is.
Okay, so some of that, just good versus evil, etc., that's just plot. We'll talk about that in Inciting Quest. So for the how to create distinct characters, I mean, technically, we could just say, okay, well, one's a fighter and one's a barbarian, but that's not really, we're missing some stuff here. So how do we make all these characters extremely distinct? Like, not just kind of distinct, extremely distinct.
I mean, in my opinion, it comes down to resonance and vibe of like I personally, I think it's worth it to take every single one of these heroes and pre-make all these sheets and then be like, hey, this is who you're playing, lock in. Like, that's, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if it's, like, other than class, it's really just being like, hey, do you know how this character is? Here, I've made a quick little YouTube video. Like, and maybe you didn't. Maybe it's just, like, somebody's probably made a YouTube video of everything about Tila. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything about Man-at-Arms or whatever his name is. Like, it's
Man-at-Arms.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it is resonance and vibe with how you play these characters, because they're not just distinct in what they can do, but also how they act and how they interact with He-Man. You know?
Yeah. So for sure, though, when you make the pre-made characters, no overlap, right? Like,
no overlap.
He-Man is a barbarian or a paladin or a ranger or like that what we just described. He probably has like a magic sword that he has to say the command phrase in order to activate.
Yes.
You know, like he has to be able to say what's the phrase?
I have the power.
Right. Yes.
I think.
Like, I have the power of the blade, or whatever, the power blade, whatever. Yes, like that sort of thing. He needs to have that. Like, you need those things to like activate that sort of stuff. But you just need, distinct characters with things. But that's right, the resonance and vibe. So, as a dungeon master, then how would you prepare the character sheets to ensure the role play is unique for each character? Because like we could all just say, you know what, we're all gonna play emo boys who talk like this and have no emotions. Like, we could just all choose to do that independently. So how would you set up the players to play distinctive characters?
If you're going to play this, I feel like you already love it. So it's like, I feel like you're already going to kind of come with like the knowledge of like who this character is or how they interact, you know, with the world. And again, I don't know, because all I remember is Skeletor, He-Man, and the Tiger. Like, I don't remember anything else. So I'm like, I know some of their name. Like, I know Tila's name. I know Man-at-Arms' name. I know, because I know what he looked like. And I was like, yeah, that was like a weird character Did I ever buy the toys? No. But as a DM, I'm like, if you're coming in, you probably already know what's going on. So so I would actually be curious what you think is the best way, because I'm trusting my players already know what's happening.
That's fair. And if we were to run something like this as a one shot overall, and you're telling everybody this is the one shot, then you're probably, oftentimes people are going to know. But there's always the player at the table who does not know. They're just there for the friends, right? So I think there's a couple things, right? One, if you want to print out images of what the character looks like, that's going to help, right? Two is I would specifically point out to your players, here's your personality traits, your bonds, your flaws, etc. And also, here's like what the types of equipment you have, and like write bigger descriptions for it and kind of like laid it out, because you want to give them the vibe more, right? A lot of times when people look at the sheets, they're going to think about mechanics, right? But like you might specifically point out or write more interesting or specific things of like, here's what they want. As always, we often in one shots will write, here's your quest, here's your goal, etc. You might write out that section a little longer on the sheet and just kind of make sure everyone is highlighting that to kind of help them. And then the other thing I'd always pick is, if you're going to run this and it's a group of people you're familiar with, kind of figure out already, you already kind of know who the players are and what they like to do and what kind of characters they like to play and what's their best roleplay role, and assign them accordingly, right? Like, don't make the person who all they want to do is seduce things be He-Man. That's not who He-Man is. You have to like have that person who would play that character well. The other big thing about this genre, this like sword and planet genre of story, is that the other like character is the planet itself and like the magic and the technology of the world, and it's always weird. Like there's always weird stuff that goes on. So I would want to spend a little bit of time of making an interesting world for them to inhabit that is full of like character imagination. You'd probably want to take your own little play on it. And there's always, because it's like a Saturday morning children's cartoon, a little tongue-in-cheek throughout it. So Taylor, help me design the world that the planet will throw them on. What's going to be weird and interesting about it, but also kind of funny? And it doesn't have to be exactly like Masters of the Universe, because we just need to have something. Because it just needs to be interesting, weird, and funny. Like that's the whole point.
I was gonna say, I was like, if Kyle is setting me up to fail, thank God you said that. It doesn't have
like
to be.
You know enough about the planet by watching 2 episodes and barely remembering it. You just need to know that it's a different planet. It's not like Earth.
I remember there was dirt.
Yeah, there's a weird vibe. And then yes, like if you're this, like He-Man was very much inspired by Conan the Barbarian and these type of genre. Yeah. It's just thrown into space. So like there's a lot of sand and like men with big rippling muscles and only a loincloth and a sword. Like that's
the world. You're welcome. We're moving on.
There we go. We did it. Moving on.
Just kidding. No, but I think, definitely much like you said, inspired by Conan the Barbarian. I think in that type of like thrown into the world thing, or thrown onto a planet. I think a world that would be very fascinating. I think you have to definitely create like different biomes. I think it is very fun. Like you have to have a canyon biome. You have to have like some weird forest with like alien/fairy-esque creatures that are kind of magic, but also maybe Martians. Like kind of like both, on the verge of both. And and I think having like secret caves and like little underground like cavernous like communities and like that kind of thing is very fascinating. I think something that excites me is when it comes to a lot of space worlds like this, for some reason, I don't know why they do this, but they're like, this planet doesn't have an ozone layer of any kind, so you could just see space, which I'm always like, whose idea was it that you just 24/7 see the planets in this outer space? But I do like it because it does plop you in that world immediately. When you look at the sky and you see Saturn, like it's like, oh, I'm in space, you know? So I think that's very fascinating. But I also think when you talk about funny and like a little bit of what I was thinking when you're talking about funny and tongue-in-cheek was like a lot of the whimsy that comes from worlds like this, which is like you meeting some like weird creature and then it like spits on you, but like doesn't say any words. And you're like, what? And then like, as you go on your quest, it keeps coming back to spit on you. And it's like, why are you spitting? Like, what is, I don't understand. And then at some point you learn it's literally trying to talk to you. You just don't understand what it's saying. And that's like kind of funny, but it's also like a fun little bit you could just weave into the entire thing. And finding those little bits where it's like, you know, there's like, I don't know, like some weird alien worm that just follows you the entire time and doesn't say anything, but has big puppy dog eyes and just goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you want? And it just goes. That's cute, but also like, what? And it's fun to see the players interact with it. Like one player's gonna get really mad, but then another player's gonna be like, but don't you love it? And it'll just be really fun, you know?
Okay, so yes, 100%, 1,000% on all of those things, right? Like in the one of the things that's indicative of Sword and Planet, like planetary romance style stories, is that there's technically an excuse for everything. And there's like, it has a reason. It's technically, this is technically science fiction. It is not like, now this was originating in like 1920s comics. So like science fiction for the time is semi close to magic in our own conceptions, but like it has a logic to it. So like, oh, like these characters have telepathy. It's because they've developed their brains to the, you know, the maximum capacity, or like they invented this technology to do that. Like there's a reason, right? Even like the sword that has power has like some reason for having the power in the first place. It's not just pure magic. It's like magic with an explanation of some kind, no matter how flimsy the magic is or explanation is. So keep that in mind. But like stuff like, the distinct feel, making the planet feel different and weird. And like you could even do some research or ask ChatGPT how to figure out like how to make the planet feel distinct and weird. That's a good stuff right there. The final thing is you need a good versus evil plot that is also probably, because if you're going to have a good Skeletor villain, which we're not talking about the threat level, we'll talk about that next time, but you need a really silly, wild plot that is good versus evil. So, what is the plot, Taylor? And I'm going to tell you the basic plot of almost every single Masters of the Universe thing is Skeletor needs to take over Castle Grayskull, and by taking over Castle Grayskull, he will be able to rule the universe. That is basically the plot for every single one. And there's some other harebrained scheme he's come up with this week to try and get Castle Grayskull into his hands. So,
what is Castle Grayskull?
It's a castle. It's shaped like a skull.
And it's not already Skeletor's?
It's not already Skeletor's.
Who owns it?
He-Man.
It's his house?
It's his house.
So you're telling me, let me just get this straight. You're telling me a guy with a skull for a face wants to not buy, but steal a half-naked man's house. That's the whole show.
Pretty much. There are some secrets in the castle that allow, that Skeletor and all the other villains believe will allow them to like conquer the universe, and He-Man is protecting it.
I doubt there are any real secrets to that.
Well, again, Taylor, this was designed to sell toys.
I bet you the secret is just like the special sauce he puts in his guacamole. Like it has to be
the secret in Castle Grayskull is the Krabby Patty secret formula.
Yeah, it is. It's the thing that we've been waiting for years that we still haven't gotten. Actually, I think they did. Anyway, we're not talking about SpongeBob. But yeah, I would say the inciting quest. I'm actually going to lean in a little bit to the upcoming film. I think, as we haven't talked about the film, but I'm very excited. I am interested. I won't say excited. I'm interested to see what they do with this.
Yes.
I do like the idea in the film, just by the trailer, that He-Man is of our world.
Yeah.
First. Which is real? Question mark? Or made up for the movie, probably.
I gotta remember. I think it depends on which run you're looking at, but I'm pretty sure he's actually a native. Yeah. He's the prince of this kingdom or whatever, so.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I really like that. I really like that idea. And for an inciting quest, I would almost say what I think would be interesting is that Skeletor dropped y'all. Skeletor got to the castle. Finally. and he threw you through some magic portal into our world, and you have to find a way back. And then the final battle is when you actually get back, and then you have to get the castle back from Skeletor. That's the fight. But I'm
fun.
like, that would be really fun because I think it puts a very funny twist. And you can, if you want to, you could start on the planet, and that's totally okay. But I think, and you could just have being thrown into the world be something that happens right before the big battle. But I do think that's a very funny thing of like, you could experience the alien world for the beginning or not, but being thrown into our world, keep being who you are, the character you are. Nothing else changes, because that is hilarious. I'm just saying, being what is this man's name with the wings? Stratos?
Yeah.
Being this winged guy that looks like a bird in New York is crazy. People are going to be like, I don't want to take pictures of you. And he's like, pictures? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to Castle Grayskull. What do you mean? It's like, I can't give you directions. I don't need directions. Like,
I think for sure, right?
Yeah.
I would say that the inciting quest and the plot of this one is first hour is defending Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
Right? They lose and they get thrown into the modern world. Second hour is them figuring out how to get from the actual world back, and then the final is a battle. Like, that would be great.
Crazy.
And of course, they're going to, like, you should plan as a dungeon master for them to take something back from the real world. Like, if I was a player, I would be like, all right, I have discovered the beauty of Wonder Bread and sliced bread. And I am so excited about this concept of pre-sliced bread. I am going to bring this to my back home. And then somehow that sliced bread is going to help me defeat Skeletor. Skeletor is like, this is incredible.
That's great.
What is this magic?
Yeah.
Pre-sliced bread?
You know what my brain went to? My brain went to a kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
Because the way that you, like, if it's like you're fighting Skeletor and then I go on my turn, I would like to run up to Skeletor, full dash action, and give him the kaleidoscope and tell him that this is the secret we've been protecting this entire time. And he goes, what is this?
Yeah.
The universe in my hands. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That would be too funny. Oh, the voice is making me cough. But that would be too funny.
Okay, amazing. I love this plot.
Goodness.
All you need to do for Skeletor's minions, too, is just reskin zombies and skeletons and have a bunch of them and design the encounter. Like, we'll talk again next week, but...
Yeah. And you can pull some inspiration from Barbie in the sense that maybe you have to go talk to Mattel. Like, you have to go, you know what I mean?
We got to be prepared, everybody, for the Mattel, the MCU, the Mattel Cinematic Universe, where it's all just...
Yes.
And it's going to be Margot Robbie partnering up with He-Man to do the thing, like...
For sure.
With Optimus Prime. It's going to be...
Right.
Let's just do a recap of He-Man. We're going to give everyone pre-made character sheets of, like, very distinct classes and characters. We're going to give players extra role-playing handholds to ensure they embody the characters well. He-Man's probably like a paladin and things of that nature. And then we're going to make sure this is a good versus evil fight, and on a strange planet. So with the strange planet, we're going to create interesting biomes, alien and / fairy-like creatures for the right vibes, and make sure the planet has a distinct feel and unique differences from Earth. And then we're going to throw them into a plot. The first hour, they're going to defend Castle Grayskull from losing, but they lose to Skeletor, who throws them into the real world, and they have to find their way back. And in the second hour and in the third hour, the whole party returns, takes back Castle Grayskull, and wins the day, because Skeletor can never win. He just never wins.
Never wins.
All right, that was a good one. I love Masters of the Universe. Look out for our video next week on Skeletor, because boy, am I excited for that one. Woo! So excited. And we will catch you in the next video. You can like and subscribe for more content like
This is how we brew it. Jurassic Park, How to Train Your Dragon, The Princess Bride, Inception, Matrix, Mad Max, Fury Road, John Wick, Ghostbusters, Pokemon, Hunger Games, 28 days later.
Hey there, just want to shout out to our patrons. Thanks so much for subscribing on Patreon and supporting the show. Thanks to Count Bubba, Fizz, Fedorva Will, Richard, Varner Jr., and Who's Scruffy Looking.